Coming up, neighbor versus neighbor, an arrest made in a Palmetto shooting that sent 2 victims to the hospital. Plus, hundreds of runners got up early for the 9th annual Turkey Trot across the Ringling Causeway. And a big change for this weekend's annual Venice Holiday Parade. Stay right there, your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Ray Collins. Happy Thanksgiving. An arrest has been made after a dispute between neighbors in Manatee County. One man was shot and his wife was hit in the head. The story from our Taylor Torregano. Taylor?
Good afternoon, Ray. Police have identified the victim and charged the suspect for attempted murder in the shooting in Palmetto last night. 77-year-old William Andrus is accused of firing several shots, one of which struck his neighbor, 67-year-old Joe Prisco. Deputies say it happened at around 4:30 p.m. on Lakeside Boulevard in the Country Lakes Village development. According to witnesses, it started as an argument that escalated between the next-door neighbors. Deputies say at some point that argument became physical. Prisco's wife, Brenda, says Andrus began hitting her husband with a brick. When she tried to stop him, she says Andrus began hitting her, then pulled out a pistol and fired several times.
I heard that the 2 neighbors were feuding about an air conditioner or something, and it got to the point where one of them went out of control and shot the other one.
Joe Prisco had surgery and is now said to be in stable condition. Police say his wife, Brenda, suffered only minor injuries, and Andrus had his first court appearance this morning at 8:30. Ray, back to you.
All right, thank you, Taylor. On a lighter note now, the Ringling Causeway is back open this noon, both directions. Earlier today, nearly 2,000 runners took part in the 9th annual Sarasota Turkey Trot, and our Marla Spence was at the starting line.
More than 2,000 runners across the Suncoast woke up bright and early on Thanksgiving morning to run in the 9th annual Turkey Trot, and it's all for a good cause. Runners from far and wide met at the Hyatt Regency in Sarasota to participate in the race supporting Also Youth. Runners who ran over the Ringling Causeway couldn't miss out on the chance to give to a good cause.
This is my first Turkey Trot, but I've been part of the organization for many years, helping out, donating, volunteering my time. It's a great event, and it just really supports young youth against violence. For 9 years now, Also Youth has held the annual race to raise money for the organization that provides support and advocacy for 13 to 21-year-olds in the LGBTQ community. Also Youth's executive director, Nathan Brummer, says through the race, he hopes the organization will raise more than $40,000. He tells us the money raised will help the organization hire more workers.
And if we can hopefully hire new staff this year, we'll continue to increase our outreach efforts, which is really important. Currently, we're doing the work of about 5 or 6 people, but it's supporting our operations at the drop-in center.
Brummer says the number of teens and young adults needing help through Also Youth has more than doubled within the last 18 months. He says no matter the amount, it will be a great help to the local nonprofit organization. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
So it is Thanksgiving, but how did Thanksgiving first get started? Here's some trivia for you. It took place almost 400 years ago in 1621. 102 pilgrims sailed across the ocean blue in 1620 looking for religious freedom. Native Americans who spoke English from previously meeting other Europeans taught them how to farm the land. The pilgrims celebrated their successful first crop by inviting the Native Americans to a feast in November. Pilgrims were known to hunt wild turkeys back then. Then in 1863, President Lincoln made it a national holiday, and now all these years later, it often means turkey, football, and shopping. So what about feeding scraps from your meal to your dogs? Experts say some food is okay, depends which ones. Some tips now from reporter Susan Elizabeth Littlefield.
This is Zeke. His mom adopted him a year and a half ago. Now the Roseville family is growing.
So I'm fostering Nugget right now, and he's 9 weeks old.
She's also anticipating the biggest meal of the year.
To make the traditional mashed potatoes. They're my favorite.
A little
bit. But as we found out from a vet, Thanksgiving cravings can come at a cost.
I mean, there's new smells, there's new people, there's new foods.
Exactly.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot for us, and it's even more for a dog.
She says these foods that are so good to us can be so bad for them. She says onions, chives, and garlic can cause digestive problems, and so can these popular snacks.
They can actually cause kidney failure. and it's usually fatal. So just keep away from grapes and raisins. That's kind of the easy thing to say.
She also says chocolate, guacamole, and nuts are no-nos. And on this holiday, you shouldn't throw a dog a bone.
Raw or cooked bones for turkeys, just because they're so small and fragile, they can really cause a lot of issues. They can cause choking hazards. They can actually block the intestines and require emergency surgeries.
Another landmine for animals like Nugget are garbage cans, because they're full of those foods they shouldn't eat. So it's important to keep them closed. Dr. Angelica says it's also important to be an advocate for your dog, giving them extra love when they may be overwhelmed by guests. And it is okay to let them indulge on sweet potatoes, pumpkin, or carrots, and let them know that you are thankful.
It's just that they have like a lot of love to give. They're always there, ready to give you some kisses.
Other news now, President Trump will spend the holiday weekend in Florida, and this morning he was on the phone wishing the military a happy Thanksgiving. From Mar-a-Lago, the commander-in-chief thanked representatives from all 5 branches of the military for their service and sacrifice. The president noted that while they are spending the holiday away from their families, their missions abroad are protecting American liberties. The call did turn political at times, with the president referencing security along the U.S.-Mexican border. Listen.
As you probably see over the news, what's happening in our southern border and our southern border territory. Large numbers of people, and in many cases we have no idea who they are, and in many cases they're not good people. They're bad people, but large numbers of people are forming at our border, and I don't have to even ask you. I know what you want to do. You want to make sure that you know who we're letting in, and we're not letting in anybody.
The president also criticized the federal court judge who ruled against his plan to limit asylum claims by migrants. All right, time for First Alert Weather. Josh, and for John, we certainly give thanks for the weather today. Wow.
I know, amazing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, beautiful conditions on this Thanksgiving day right now. We look outside, there's lots of sunshine, it's 70 degrees. We're going to warm up a little bit warmer than this, mid to potentially upper 70s in some locations. Northeasterly wind right now at 8 miles per hour. Other areas, well, we're pretty much all in the lower 70s at this time, so looking very nice. We have a few mid to upper level clouds streaming on by from a system that's well out to the west in the western Gulf of Mexico. That's kind of decaying, so these clouds are basically debris clouds that's going to kind of flutter over the area. But as we go through the evening hours, looks like we'll be on the increase with seeing those clouds kind of draping the area for tonight. The radar, as you can see, it's sweeping around but picking up nothing, so it will be a quiet day as far as any sort of rainfall goes. And as we go through the rest of the day, we'll creep up in temperatures, not by much though, but we'll be in the mid 70s, possibly upper 70s in some locations inland. But there's the clouds on the increase later on this evening. And then looks like there could be some changes coming our way in the next few days, and we'll have all the details on that when we come back with the weather. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. If you plan to shop later on today or tomorrow, here are all the very important hours to area malls. Today, Westfield, Siesta Key, Sarasota Square, and DeSoto Square are all closed, but the mall at UTC and the Ellington Mall will be open from 6 until midnight tonight. Now, on Black Friday, all of the Westfield stores will open at 8 a.m. and close at 9 p.m. The mall at UTC will stay open until 10 p.m. Ellington, get this, will open at midnight tonight, close 2 hours later, and then reopen at 6 in the morning. Some confused workers there, to be sure. Now, to avoid getting scammed by retailers, keep these tips in mind. Some stores inflate prices ahead of Black Friday to create the illusion of a drastic price cut. So if you can, research the regular retail price. Also, be wary of emails that claim to contain coupons with big discounts and ones that ask for personal information as well. Also, don't click on any suspicious links. That's always a good idea. Beware of bogus websites that promise deals too good to be true. And also, use a credit card for online orders. It's easier to dispute or mediate fraudulent charges than a debit card. Looking ahead, this Saturday is the annual holiday parade in Venice. Thousands will line the route to watch the 43rd annual Venice Holiday Parade. This is filed from last year's event. Spectators are already putting their chairs down to mark their spots. This year, there's one big change, the parade route. You might want to avoid driving anywhere between Venice and Tampa Avenues.
Everything's going to be shut down during the parade, and some people who decide that they might want to leave during, they are going to be, for all intents and purposes, kind of stuck there.
The event begins at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday with live entertainment, and then the parade starts at 7 p.m. and should last for about 2 hours. Still to come on your Suncoast News, we'll have your first alert forecast from meteorologist Josh Stone. And what to do with those Thanksgiving leftovers. Chef Judy has some answers for you after this.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Being empowered starts with getting informed, looking closer. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. But many of us don't know there are different types of breast cancer with different characteristics. That was me. Learning about the specifics of my diagnosis gave me the confidence to make informed treatment decisions with my doctor. This meant everything to me and my family. So take another look. Ask another question. Learn more at notonetype.org.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi today. I hope you are having a good one, and I hope you thank Mother Nature for this beautiful weather. Look at our radar. Nothing doing here. Up and down the Suncoast, it is quiet on this Thursday early afternoon, and it's a beautiful day right now. 70 degrees. Can't get much better than that. Well, some places we could get better than that with temperatures maybe climbing a little bit warmer than this, but still very cool, comfortable conditions. Sunny skies for the most part. Dew point at 51, so the humidity is low. And man, it's just a nice day for this Thanksgiving. So nice today, and we'll continue the trend into our Friday as well for Black Friday. For all the shoppers getting out there, it's going to be a beautiful day. Then there's a chance for rain over the weekend, and then looks like later in the week of next week, another system's going to come in here. It won't produce any real rainfall late in the week, but it will drop our temperatures down. and we're talking about highs not even getting out of the 60s, so it's going to feel quite cool later on next week. We have an area of disturbed weather here in the northern Gulf of Mexico, but it's kind of losing its punch, losing its energy and kind of decaying. So what we're experiencing is just mid to high level debris clouds out of this. At the lower levels of the atmosphere, we have dry air in place, thanks to a courtesy of this area of high pressure kind of bringing in that drier air. So we don't really have any low level clouds right now, but with this decaying system here, a little bit more moisture working its way in eventually to Florida, we'll have increasing clouds for this evening. Well, it is chilly up here in the Northeast. Right now it's 26 in New York and 19 in Boston. You add a little bit of wind into the forecast and it feels quite uncomfortable here. Boston feels like 2 and it feels like 12 in New York City. Fortunately, we don't have to deal with that. Anyway, we still are in hurricane season. That's right. Officially ends on November 30th, but nothing is going on here in the Atlantic, in the Caribbean, or the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, we have a little disturbed weather here in the northern Gulf of Mexico, but it doesn't have any sort of tropical characteristics. And remember, we're now at the time of the year where the waters have really cooled down, and a lot of these cold fronts come out of Canada, and they have wind shear aloft. And these storms that try to get going, well, the wind shear will disrupt their flow, and so we won't have to worry about any sort of tropical activity really affecting us, which is great news. So one more nice day tomorrow. Then we have a little more cloud cover over the weekend, chance for shower activity on Saturday into Sunday. Looks like a couple of other systems come our way on Monday and Tuesday to bring us some shower activity. And then, boy, the bottom drops out as we get to the end of the work week of next week with temperatures not getting out of the 60s. So it'll be a little bit cooler in the long term of our forecast. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thanks for the morning, Josh. On to Health Smart now. Enjoying a Thanksgiving dinner with loved ones isn't just good fun and tastes good. It can also be good for your brain as well. According to a doctor at the Cleveland Clinic, the whole process is very social and therefore good for brain health. Here's why.
People who are socially isolated are more likely to be depressed, more likely to have suicide, more likely to have cognitive decline. But people who are socially engaged are more likely to have a social network, and more likely to be happier in general, and it's been shown very clearly that have better cognitive outcomes. So social stimulation is part of the meal.
The doctor also says what you eat for dinner can be good for brain health as well. He recommends adding Mediterranean-style items like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts. He suggests replacing butter with olive or canola oil and using herbs and spices instead of salt. But what can you do with all those leftovers tomorrow? Let's get an idea from our chef, Judy.
Well, happy Black Friday. Can you believe it? We made it through Thanksgiving. So today you're either out there binge shopping and getting all the deals, and you're going to want something comforting when you get home, or you're going to be me and be a couch potato and binge on Netflix and take some leftovers and swap them around a little bit. So today we're going to make stuffed mushrooms. And what's great about this recipe is we're going to take the leftover stuffing, we're going to add some Boursin cheese, a garlicky cream cheese to that, little red wine, some melted butter, change the components of it just a little bit. Saute the base of the mushroom. We've already taken out the stem and chopped that up with a little fresh fennel that I happen to have left over from another stuffing recipe. So we'll bring that all together and I'll show you how to add a little wine, little butter and Parmesan. We've got some stuffed mushrooms baking off right now. They're delicious and I think you're going to really enjoy it. The greatest news is you can freeze this stuffing, put it in a Ziploc container, double bag it, label it. When it comes out, when it unthaws, it's going to be extra moisture because of the freezer. Use cheesecloth and really squeeze it to get out that extra moisture. You're going to be great. I'll come back in just a few minutes to get started cooking.
Get more for your money during the Subaru Share the Love event at Sunset Subaru. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Now, lease a new Subaru Impreza for just $145 a month or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real. You can recover. It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Welcome back. In the Florida Panhandle, Hurricane Michael slammed Mexico Beach last month, leaving much of that town in ruins. But as reporter Martin Savage tells us, two men stepped in to help the hungry, and their final meal is today.
There was a building here, I promise. It was called Killer Seafood.
It's been more than a month since the hurricane obliterated Mexico Beach.
Here you would be inside the building.
But as Michael Scoggin shows me what used to be his restaurant, it's obvious the pain is still fresh.
An open kitchen where everybody could see what was going on.
Killer Seafood, a town favorite for years, is gone. Hal Summers was general manager. He's lost his job and his home. Both men could have wallowed in self-pity and left town. Instead, they decided to help the only way they could. They cooked. In a church parking lot, amidst the roar of generators and the smoke of a grill, they began feeding first responders and residents 3 times a day.
Chicken, tomatoes, corn, of course.
7 days a week.
You want another roll?
For free.
You're welcome.
They call it Camp Happy Tummies. Fueled by donations, it provides one of the greatest comforts in dark times, a hot meal.
This is my planning menu. And this is the way I...
This is your menu right here. This is on what, a parchment paper or something?
That is parchment paper.
But over the weeks, this tent has come to mean much more than a meal.
It's a safe place to cry, safe place to let your feelings out.
Everybody has a feeling that they're all together and we're all in this together.
At these tables, they have prayed, mourned the dead, even held a wedding reception. Hal and Michael baked the wedding cake. This is a place where folks temporarily escape what lies just outside.
Crews are making progress cleaning up, and power, sewage, and water are all making a comeback. But there is still one staggering figure. At least 75% of the homes in Mexico Beach have been destroyed.
Camp Happy Tummies is closing. Most of the first responders are gone, and food in Mexico Beach is easier to find. But before then, Michael and Hal will help prepare one last meal to be distributed around town
for Thanksgiving.
Is there reason to be thankful in Mexico Beach?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even with all of the destruction and all that's been lost?
Even.
We're still here.
So we'll have a lot to be thankful for. We have our lives, and we can rebuild, and it's just going to take time.
A month after the hurricane, people here have stopped looking for reasons to be sad. Instead, they're finding reasons to rejoice.
Look at that. There you go.
Yeah. To be grateful.
It's a beautiful place, and it will come back.
And it's still paradise.
And instead of looking back, they're looking forward. In Mexico Beach, they've come to learn that every day is Thanksgiving Day.
Thank y'all so much. You're very welcome.
Martin Seven, CNN, Mexico Beach, Florida.
Great story. Back to the kitchen now, where Chef Judy is already talking about Thanksgiving leftovers.
Okay, so we're going to make stuffed mushrooms using the leftover stuffing that I have. Now, this is just a simple bread stuffing that I have. I added some extra fennel to it and some diced apple. The second day, you're usually going to have to give it a little more moisture, so always have your container of chicken stock or turkey stock ready. And don't worry if you run out of turkey stock. Even if it was for extra gravy, chicken stock's going to work fine. But I tend to buy 4 containers just so I can make sure I have plenty of stock for soup and for the gravy. So the butter is melted, medium-high heat. We're going to take the large-sized button mushrooms. Now you can get these big ones at like Whole Foods or Yoder's, and that's what you're looking for, the big ones to stuff. Over here I have some fennel and just those stems of the mushrooms that I want to use, and I want to use as many parts as I can that's left over. So I had a little fennel for one of my dishes, and what I do is everything that I want to use to cook for a completely different dish, I put it in plastic seal bags, because besides the stuffed mushrooms, you can take out this stuffing if you don't want to have the mushrooms right away. You can freeze this and then make this part for New Year's Eve or Christmas or Hanukkah, which is really, really nice. So give that a moment, just saute around a little bit, and then we want to add flavors of seasoning. Now I'm going to do a little more Bell seasoning. There's some in the stuffing for sure, because this is probably like my #1 go-to poultry seasoning around the holidays. So we're just going to put a teeny bit in there, not too much, okay? I'm going to watch the butter content because it tends to dry out pretty quickly. So we'll add that in there. And in about, I'd say about 2 more minutes, see where it's just starting to get brown? We're actually going to turn these caps over, because this center part that we're going to stuff, we want to make sure that that's nice and moist as well. So let's season this. Salt, pepper, and I'll grab the pepper in a minute. And then I have the Boursin cheese, and I'm letting it sit out just so it can get soft enough so it'll mix a little bit easier. This is going to be so delicious. So stay with me. I'm coming back. Let me get this all together. And ooh, I am definitely in the mood for some stuffed mushrooms today, a good book to read, and definitely binging on some good sports. I'll be back in just a few minutes to finish this up.
It's year-end clearance time at every Gettle location. Over 3,000 new vehicles, over 1,000 used vehicles on clearance right now at Gettle.com. And Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Get credit help, fast cash for your car, and year-end clearance prices right now at a Gettle dealership near you. Gettle's got it. At Gettle.com.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving. Our top story at 12:30. The Office of Special Counsel is investigating whether Acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker violated federal law by accepting political contributions for a years-old campaign. Now, the Special Counsel's office is an independent federal agency not associated with the Mueller team, but as CNN's Laura Jarrett tells us, it can issue fines for violations.
Acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker facing new questions tonight about a mysterious trail of campaign contributions, as CNN has now learned that an independent federal agency is looking into whether he may have violated federal law by accepting campaign money while working at the Justice Department. At the crux of the issue, $8,800 in donations made to his failed 2014 bid for a U.S. Senate seat in Iowa, especially since the donations were only made earlier this year, just months after he became Chief of Staff to then Attorney General Jeff Sessions. That's a problem, says Austin Evers, head of American Oversight, a government watchdog group that filed an administrative complaint with the Office of Special Counsel, an agency that says executive branch employees can be fined or reprimanded for violations.
So after 2 years of being completely dormant, and only after he joined Jeff Sessions' office as Chief of Staff, he started receiving a cluster of contributions from former clients of his when he was a lobbyist in Iowa. It appears to violate the black letter law of the Hatch Act, which says public officials are not allowed to receive donations.
When reached by phone on Wednesday, Whitaker's campaign treasurer, Bill Gustoff, couldn't explain why 4 individuals donated to Whitaker in 2018. But told CNN that the unsolicited funds from backers of Republican candidates went toward roughly $49,000 in outstanding campaign debt. Whitaker had lent his own campaign money in 2013, something the Hatch Act allows, but it wasn't listed on his financial disclosure forms.
We're calling for an investigation because there are a lot of unanswered questions. Whitaker's treasurer said that he was paying off debt, but the FEC filings show that the only expenditures he made was for rent. He also said he didn't solicit these donations, so he doesn't appear to know why they were received either.
The financial disclosure forms, which were edited at least 5 times in the last 2 weeks since Whitaker was appointed acting attorney general, show $15,000 in other income as a legal analyst for CNN, while his critics now raise additional questions about his work for a conservative activist group known as FACT, the Foundation for Accountability and Civic Trust. The foundation allows unlimited donations from undisclosed donors and paid Whitaker roughly $1 million as executive director in the years before being tapped as Sessions' chief of staff.
That group called FACT aggressively pushed for an investigation into Hillary Clinton and her family foundation. That's something Whitaker could now order as head of the Department of Justice. Well, today marks the 55th anniversary of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Shortly after 12 p.m. on November 22, 1963, shots were fired at the car Kennedy was in. Then Texas Governor John Connally was also hit in the chest with a bullet, but he recovered. The president's limo sped toward Parkland Memorial Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Vice President Lyndon Baines Johnson became the 36th president shortly afterward on Air Force One. Lee Harvey Oswald was named as the assassin, although there are some others who believe others were involved in that shooting. Oswald was fatally shot 2 days later by Dallas nightclub owner Jack Ruby. The oldest survivor of the attack on Pearl Harbor died yesterday. Ray Chavez was from California. He was stationed in Pearl Harbor when the Japanese attacked the U.S. In Hawaii. Earlier this year, Chavez met with President Trump in the Oval Office. He was also the guest of Defense Secretary James Mattis for a Memorial Day ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. Ray Chavez was 106 years old. While we celebrate Thanksgiving, many in California are still trying to piece their lives back together. Reporter Joe Khalil spoke to one family who escaped the flames but lost their home.
I'm thankful and grateful I have my family. That's not the same for a lot of people.
As Max and Vonna Schooler prepare for Thanksgiving, the idea of being thankful itself for them has taken on a whole new meaning.
It just really is amazing what people can do. You know, the community and all the devastation.
2 weeks ago, the Schoolers welcomed baby Brielle into the world. The next day, Vonna was evacuated from Feather River Hospital.
You could see flames coming up the canyon on the backside of the hospital. Okay, there's something serious going on here.
While a deputy evacuated Vonna and the baby, her husband Max and their 4-year-old son Lucas were trying desperately to drive out of Paradise.
At one point, you start thinking about, like, okay, am I gonna die or is my family gonna die?
Nearly out of the flames, Max says his car, which was heating up and already full of smoke, stopped working.
At that point, he kind of started freaking out, wanting his mom.
Max can't explain what happened, but when all hope seemed lost, his car started to work again. They made it out, and eventually the family was reunited. Now, as they prepare to host about 10 people for Thanksgiving in this temporary home, this young family is counting their blessings.
I'm thankful I get to be here with my family.
And on top of the fact that they're all now together,
So this is the surplus of stuff.
these are all the extra donations they've received. So many clothes, toys, and other items that they're now sending most of it back to other victims and other charitable organizations.
I keep seeing it everywhere, but it really is, you know, Butte strong. So we're thankful.
They may not have a home in Paradise left, but this family has a house full of reasons to be thankful.
And now another issue surfaces in California. They've got a lot of rain coming their way, which already has some soft ground already.
I know, that's the problem. I mean, it's like you said just before we came out of the story, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah. And, you know, you have these trees or bushes that have roots that go into the ground, and they hold the soil together. Now that's all been, excuse me, it's all been burned, and you have loose soil, and heavy rain is in the forecast for them. Let's check out what's happening over there, and there's a trough that's going to swing in from the Pacific Ocean into Northern California. You can see all the rain associated with it, and flash flood watches are out, and this is going to affect a lot of people with potential mudslides and just a messy situation for those folks there. They can't seem to get a break. Again, yeah, the rain will help with the fires, but now you got mudslides to deal with, so what a mess. Yeah. Not a mess is for our forecast today. 70 degrees, mostly sunny skies, northeasterly wind at 8 miles per hour. Few clouds streaming on by. These are mid to high level clouds. I think we're going to have an increase in cloud cover as we go through the evening hours, but the radar will remain quiet. And your forecast today, temperatures in the mid 70s. It's looking pretty nice, and tonight will cool down into the mid to low 60s. Right?
Very nice. Thank you, Josh. Well, happening last night, a scary moment for those on a train in New York City. The story from ABC's Gio Benitez.
For passengers aboard this Amtrak.
I realized that we were no longer connected to the rest of the train. We're in trouble.
On the busiest travel day of the year, 2 of the train's cars suddenly disconnected from the rest of the train outside Albany, New York. The doors appearing to fall off, hundreds of passengers stuck on the tracks, exposed to freezing cold temperatures.
A train car came loose from the train that was traveling southbound.
As soon as I saw that we were detached, I felt like I was in a movie.
One passenger aboard the locomotive, which was traveling from Montreal to New York City, tweeting, "I heard a pop, smelled electrical burning, and felt a rush of cold air." Another adding, "We are like a sitting duck on the tracks." Hours went by before the passengers were eventually transferred to another train, reaching New York City in the early morning hours.
It feels great to be home, home safe and able to go and finally see all my family.
And thankfully, nobody was hurt here, but Amtrak now tells us it is investigating this incident. And those passengers, they ended up right here at Penn Station, a little late and perhaps a little shaken up. Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Unusual way to start the Thanksgiving. Back to the kitchen now, where Chef Judy has an idea for your future Thanksgiving leftovers.
So we're going to shut the pan off. We're going to add some red wine. Remember, always cooking with a wine that you would drink in a glass, and because it's too much vinegar in those ones that you buy that's called cooking wine. So now we're going to take this creamy boursin stuffing, and you can use your hands if you want, or a spoon, whichever you feel more comfortable with. But we're going to really mount it pretty high up there. Now, you could, again, you can stuff the mushrooms at this point and freeze them just as they are. Make sure they're sealed really well, but you are going to have to watch the moisture content as well. So let's get that going there, and we'll put this here. So we're going to fill each one with really a fair amount. And of course, it has all this deliciousness from Thanksgiving. Now, if your stuffing has sausage in it, just make sure that you have another little batch that doesn't have stuffing for people that might not be eating meat. Okay, so here we go. Little Parmesan cheese on everything. This is going to go in the oven at about 350 to 375, just until they get to tender. And it's not that long till it gets to tender, trust me. So I had some leftover Brussels I'm roasting up. I'm going to give that pan one more swirl, and in it's going to go in the oven. We're going to give it, a little time to start to brown, and then we'll feel that texture that's coming up. It's going to be delicious. The aroma is wonderful. So when we come back, we are ready to pull them from the oven and just tuck into some really good stuffed mushrooms. And remember, you can freeze it too.
Happy Honda Days are here, and you're gonna like the holiday clearance savings. Save on the Accord, on sale for just $249 a month. That's the North American car of the year for less than the competition. Our most impressive Honda ever, on clearance for only $249 a month, loaded with more options, including a turbocharged engine and Honda Sensing. Do not miss these Honda clearance savings this week at your local Honda dealer.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
art. Want to know a secret? If you're looking for the best selection of area rugs at an unbelievable price, the only place you need to look is Rugs is Art. I know what you're thinking. Expensive, right? Wrong. Rugs is Art has the largest selection of area rugs on the west coast of Florida in a variety of styles, with 8x11 area rugs starting at $199. Largest selection, personalized service, and unbelievably low prices. You'll find it all at Rugs is Art.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you are enjoying it. It's beautiful outside. After you watch our newscast, I hope you enjoy it with your family, the Thanksgiving dinner. As far as our radar goes, everything is looking very quiet right now. No real shower activity on the radar, and this is going to be the case today, throughout the day and into tonight and tomorrow as well. Pretty quiet conditions. As far as our temperatures go, in the upper 60s and lower 70s around the entire Suncoast. Looks like Lake Placid is a warm spot on the map at 73 degrees at this time. We have a little area of disturbed weather here, the northern part of the Gulf of Mexico. It's not tropical or anything like that, but just some disturbed weather with some showers going on. And it's kind of punching into some drier air and just losing its characteristics here of kind of staying together. So it's falling apart, it's decaying, and we're going to get the debris clouds from that as we go through the afternoon and the evening hours. So we're calling for increasing clouds later on today and mostly cloudy skies tonight. But really the story here is this big H, this big blue H on the weather map stands for high pressure, or I like to tell the kids, H stands for happy weather because that brings us sunshine and people are happy about that. But it's driving down the northeasterly wind, so kind of keeping us a little bit cool, but pretty much right where we should be at this time of the year. Temperatures for highs should be about 78 degrees. We may be a little bit under that today, but still a very lovely day indeed. And looks like this area of high pressure, the big blue H, will stick around for another day. And so we get to do it all again for our Black Friday tomorrow. Shoppers are happy about that. But looks like we will get a system to come in on Saturday night into Sunday to bring us a chance for some rain showers. But you can see mostly cloudy skies in our forecast for this evening, Thursday night, around 9 o'clock in the evening. Have mostly cloudy skies with those, the decaying of the system that's in the Gulf of Mexico now, just the decaying clouds kind of moving on by, and then things will clear out for tomorrow. Well, there's nothing to talk about in the tropics. We're still in hurricane season, officially ends on November 30th, but the Atlantic, Caribbean, and Gulf of Mexico are quiet as far as any sort of tropical activity, which is great news. All right, for the boaters this afternoon, expect a north wind at 5 to 10 knots, seas anywhere from 1 to 2 feet with a moderate chop in the bay. A little bit cool at the beach, but comfortable, 71 degrees with increasing clouds in our forecast. High tops out in the mid-70s today, mild conditions, a northeasterly wind at 5 to 10. And here we go. As we go through our Friday, it's going to be very nice on Black Friday, just partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. Then the system comes along, brings us some scattered showers late Saturday night into Sunday morning, and kind of on and off showers on Sunday. Another system comes in here for Monday and Tuesday, bring us a better chance of shower activity. And then another front comes our way Wednesday night into Thursday, and look at the high on Thursday. It's about 10 degrees cooler from where we should be this time of the year. Not even getting out of the 60s for highs next Thursday. So enjoy the next few days. Looks like we have some very nice weather on tap for you today and tomorrow. Ray?
All right, thank you, Josh. On to consumer news now. The countdown is on, not just to dinner, but also for Black Friday shopping. ABC's Janae Norman has some tips on what to buy this year and what to avoid.
This morning, the final countdown to those doorbuster deals. Shoppers are already lining up, but you may not have to. Our Rebecca Jarvis spoke with Mark Elwood, author of Bargain Fever.
In 2018, it's all about the online doorbuster. You don't have to get up and get out of the house really early. You just have to get up, stay in your PJs, and shop before dawn breaks.
If a TV is on your wish list, Thanksgiving and Black Friday are your best bets for budget TVs. But if you're looking for a mid-range or high-end variety, experts say it might be better to hold out until Cyber Monday next week. Meanwhile, with Toys R Us now shuttered, Target, Walmart, and Amazon are trying to fill the void.
The weekend before Christmas, the toys will be slashed in prices.
And if clothes are on your list this year, consider holding off as well. Analysts say apparel sales will pick up right before Christmas as retailers rush to make way for a new stock in the new year. But if you insist on braving the crowds tomorrow, consider putting on a smile and negotiating. Many retailers offer hidden deals and promotions, but you have to ask. Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
Amazon is apologizing for a technical error that exposed customer information. The online retailer says the names and email addresses of some customers were inadvertently disclosed, but Amazon also said neither its website or computer systems were compromised. They didn't say how many customers were affected, but did say those who were affected have been notified out of an abundance of caution. Still to come on your Suncoast News, one last check with our chef Judy, and we'll have tomorrow's schedule of newscasts.
Where to go and what to do in Muscle Shoals in Florence, Alabama. Personalized just for you. Find your sweet spots at alabama.travel/sweetspot.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Renegade 4x4 for just $16,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
It's a brand given life by craftsmen with seductive Italian styling. The Alfa Romeo Giulia, Stelvio.
Get yours at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Experience true automotive luxury at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
Let's check in with Judy one more time. We just finished cooking some baked stuffed mushrooms. Judy?
So here we have it. Baked stuffed mushrooms. I've taken the leftover stuffing. That can be frozen unless you're going to use it for tonight. And then remember, when you unthaw it, you need to cheesecloth, strain it really well to get out the moisture. Now we filled this with this stuffing, traditional stuffing, a little diced fennel, sauteed that, the stems of the mushrooms, a little red wine on the bottom, Boursin cheese, and then Parmesan on top. And you can see they're just so moist and delicious. Now you can get this recipe by simply going on mysuncoast.com and click on recipes. We'll have video videos, recipes, and all sorts of deliciousness for you. So you made it through the big holiday. You're probably relaxing, watching some good games today, and I hope you enjoy your leftovers as much as you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. Have a great day.
Thank you, Judy. You too. Looking ahead of the next couple of days, the news will go on today as scheduled at 4, 5, 6, 7, and 11. Then tomorrow, Good Morning Suncoast at 5 and 6, of course. Then after that, 12 hours later, we'll see you again for the 7 and 11 o'clock shows. We're always on at mysuncoast.com, of course. Here is the lineup for today's football games, with all 3 of the games featuring divisional matchups. The Detroit Lions welcome the Chicago Bears in a game that kicked off just a few moments ago. Both teams are battling injuries, with the Bears being without their quarterback due to a shoulder injury, and the Lions won't have running back Kerryon Johnson, who is recovering from a knee strain. At 4:30, the Dallas Cowboys host the Washington Redskins. The NFC East leading Redskins are 1 game up on the Cowboys, but they'll have their hands full with their backup quarterback Colt McCoy, who is starting after Alex Smith went down last week with a season-ending knee injury. And the final game of the day this evening, the team out in front of the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints, take on the Atlanta Falcons at 8:20. The Saints haven't lost since an opening season loss to a team called the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. While the Falcons are on a 2-game losing streak, Saints are scoring a lot of points these days. Yes.
Things have changed there, haven't they?
Certainly have. Just wait a few years, it always kind of cycles around. I'm going to my first Bucs game in person probably in 10 years this Sunday.
Is that right?
Yeah, Sunday.
Wow.
49ers are in town.
Okay. That should be exciting.
Hope so. No Fitz magic this weekend. Jameis Winston's the starter.
That's what I hear. I understand that. Yeah. Well, who knows?
Who knows is exactly right. Have a happy Thanksgiving to you.
Right.
And to you as well. And we'll see you back here tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. Have a great day, folks.
Time at every Gettle location. Over 3,000 new vehicles, over 1,000 used vehicles on clearance right now at Gettle.com. And Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Get credit help, fast cash for your car, and year-end clearance prices right now at a Gettle dealership near you. Gettle's got it. At Gettle.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Florida's coral reefs are declining. Bad news for our oceans and marine life. Fortunately, you can help, and you don't have to dive, you just have to drive. When you purchase Moat's Protect Our Reefs license plate, $25 goes directly to Moat Marine Laboratory, whose research, restoration, and conservation programs are helping this precious natural resource thrive once again. So get your Moat Protect Our Reefs license plate today. You just might hold the key to saving Florida's reefs.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
All across America, there are kids going hungry. It sounds crazy, but it's real. It's also a problem we're fixing. Kids who rely on school meals need help in the summer. That means neighborhood meal sites that are easy to get to and free for every kid. When you make breakfast part of a school day, a lot more kids get the chance to eat. These programs work. Over the past few years, 1/3 fewer children in the United States are facing hunger. Let's make No Kid Hungry a reality.
Shop online anytime at VeniceToyota.com on US 41 South.